Welcome back to this third session. So in this session, we're trying to make sure that our CI at least is ready. So let's go straight on that one. And you can see here on our main page that everything has been pushed to our repo. And now we make sure that on top right here, you see that setup build. And now let's go over there and see what is there. And you have a couple options here. Configure your pipeline, Python package, Python to Linux web app on Azure, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing here. Let's grab this and see what we have here. I do have a couple subscription here, and you should too. That's why I asked you initially to have an Azure account already. So I'm going to select the one that I need it to go through, and then continue here. And we can see here that I don't have a web app name yet. That is for one reason, just because I have not, the infrastructure is not already. That's why nothing is under that one. Even if I go back under my other subscription, I will not see anything because I have not done any infrastructure yet. So here's what we will do next is to make sure that we build our, we write our Terraform script to create that infrastructure, get it ready before we can come back here, and stay tuned for that. And I'll be back very soon. All right, to continue here, I went ahead and created one folder, one directory called Digital Resume Infra. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to open this one on VS Code. You know, it's always easy to have a Terraform code written on this one. It's much easier. So let's grab this one. You have a syntax highlighting that we have it here. All right, perfect. So our thing is here, so we know how to the structure is. So we go first on the gonna do main.tf, and also let's have a variable .tf. Let's have a provider .tf, and yes, that's pretty much it. And let's sing back and start coding here. So let's head back to google.com and see. So if I type a Terraform Azure web app, what can I do? And then let's go to the proper documentation, which is Terraform. And the first thing here is, let's see here. So the version here is the latest, of course, and let's use this provider and just copy this one and go back to our VS Code and add it just here into our provider here. Okay, and save it here. And this is not necessary. We can just take it out and we should be good here. So no problem here. So what I did was I have a couple extension here that I was installed. So like you can see Azure Terraform here, Azure Terraform Cloud, and you can see Azure CLI as well, PowerShell. So make sure that you have those in place as well. If you don't have it, if you run into any issue, let me know in the comment, and then I'll be happy to help you out. All right, let's go back and see how it is here. So we see here that app service, what does that do? Manage an app service within an app service plan, and we have to make sure that we are taking the right one. So the example is here. So this provision a window apps service other than example Azure App Service Resource. So you can see here that it's providing Windows services. So we have to make sure that we change this along the way. And let's copy this completely and go back to our code here, and let's paste it on the main and go through line by line. Okay. So as you know, the first thing in Azure Cloud is the resource group. So that is like a container that if you try a resource group, there's nothing that you can create in Azure. So this is where all your code will be bundled. So we make sure that that is in place. So we have a couple elements here that we should make sure they are ready. So we have a resource, Azure resource group here, example, and we have so let's see the resources, resource, app service plan, the second resource, and the SKU, the resource also the app service as well, the location, so the site configuration here, app settings, some key, some value, and connection string database, and all this. So we have this in place. Now let's break it down and see. We are not in Europe. So, I mean, I'm not in Europe, so I'm just gonna put it where I am. So I'm gonna put it is US. And we can also make sure that, okay, so resource group here, let's call it digit. I can call it resume infra. That's perfectly fine. And now name here, how do we call it? Let's check the right name here. And then, all right, let's continue. Previously, what we did was we went to documentation and grab on Terraform. As you can see here, Terraform here was there, but remember this is a .NET framework. So, but we are looking for Python, so I did not find any here. And through my research, I went through Azure itself and what is Microsoft saying about it. So that's where on learn.microsoft.com where you can find this one, and this is the template that we need for our application, since it's a Linux and also this is where we'll be running on. So let's grab this feature here and go back to our main file and replace this one, and then see if we can figure out what is happening here. Okay, so the Terraform template, you can see this is the provider. Let's take the provider out and have it here. This is something you should know if you are familiar with Terraform. So it remove that one, and then what do we have? So it's generating some random integer here called RI. And on the resource, now we create a resource group here. So the minimum is 10,099 over here. And resource group here, we create a resource group called RG. Name is my resource group random integer. So let's call this I want to call it different name. Yeah, let's anyway, let's call it resume. I'm gonna call it digital resume resource group. All right, now I'm gonna let's grab this one. All right, that's fine. My resource group random is gonna get the result. It's US, perfectly fine. And we need to create a Linux app service plan. That's how we run our Python application. And API, I mean app service plan, that's how we call it. And then the name should be web app, grabbing the random integer here just to have it unique. Location, perfectly fine. Remember that we have this is different, so you should grab this guy here. What happened here? Okay, yeah, let's grab it digital here. The location, yes, perfect. And also this one, the name as well. OS type is Linux and the skill is B1. So I'm trying to replace everywhere we have this RG to avoid any error later on when we'll be running this. Alright, perfect. So we have minimum TLS 1.2, HTTPS through, what else do we have here? So deploy code from public GitHub. I'm not doing anything on public GitHub here. So I can just comment out this one. And that's pretty much it, man. Now let's do this. You know that we can still have a couple other element here. Let's have an output here. The TF. We grab the value and give it there. And let's see what do we have here that we can. You can see that this SKU name, location, we can have it as a variable. Okay, so let's have the variable here. Let's see what do we have. Going back to the documentation to make sure that we have it right. So if I go back to Azure here, let's look on this one. What is this function? Somewhere down here. If we go on Linux node here, so the output is something there, and the variable there is you see we can have a prefix as well. So let's grab this and here. Alright, and have it paste here. Also, let's go grab our output file as well here. What do we have on our output? Let's see what we have. What is happening? Alright, let's copy this and paste it here. Alright, so we're gonna output these two value Linux web app.example.name, but you know that we don't have this is not what we need. So we're gonna go back here and our location as well. You can provide our location here, which is already here. Let's have a default here. So is US, just to avoid any issue here, and go back to main here. Under our location here, let's call var.location. Perfect. Save that. What else? I want to put this service plan. Alright, let's keep it. Alright, that's fine. I'm gonna look through all this. Okay. Perfectly fine. Let's look back here. Okay. Location and prefix. All right, now let's test it and see what is going to happen. Let's go back to our terminal here. The first thing we should do here, make sure that we have a Terraform init and see if at least the backend is coming up. Okay, let's see. All right, perfect. The backend is up now. Let's see this next one. Let's format this and see. Perfect. Let's plan and see. All right, so the output is erroring out, so we should fix that one. Perfect. We'll be back soon.